Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Saranyaa. I am a registered psychotherapist currently and a sex therapist. I'm also consulting for other therapists too. I'm here with my friend Maureen, and today I'll let her introduce herself too. But today we're here to talk about our journey together. It goes all the way back to 2018 in the AWCCA program, which is the Assaulted Women's and Children's Counseling Advocacy Program in George Brown College in Toronto, in Canada. Yeah. Mo, did you want to come in and tell us a little bit about yourself and we'll flow.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I'm Dr. Maureen. I'm currently in Sri Lanka. I'm a Canadian, and 2018 I returned back to Canada because
Mhm.
2010 I was there in Canada, and when I got divorced to my ex-husband, I left Canada. So Toronto's not Canada, Toronto. So I returned back to Toronto in 2018 to make peace with my past. So that was the reason I ended up being in Toronto. And I got this opportunity to study at the AWCCA course.
Mhm.
And actually, that was one of the greatest gift I have got in my life, because first time I was able to share publicly my child sexual abuse poem in the class. I did this safe abortion presentation talking about my own experience of abortion, and also domestic violence, where I got acceptance because until that there was a guilt that I have made a mistake of leaving and also taking him to the police and court. So there was so much of guilt.
Mhm.
But that course really helped me to understand, as a woman, I did right. That is my rights, and I did the right thing. So that was a kind of a gift to receive from the course, that the guilt has gone from everything. And also, I was able to share the domestic violence story at the Take Back the Night in 2018.
Mhm.
So the first time coming back, where I basically I ran away from Toronto because of the death threats from him, and I returned back, and and that was the first time big, it's an open
Mhm.
stage, huge people of people front of them to stand and tell the story what has happened in Toronto, front of everybody. And the
Mhm.
great support I got from AWCCA, because they all came together and they were carrying this "We Are with Queen Maureen," that banner, and
Yeah.
it was something so helpful. So I'm so grateful that it shaped me to own my rights. And also I was able to do one assignment with about the psychological effects on women, how the women are affected psychologically
Mhm.
during the war. So actually war was not inside our curriculum, but still when I said, like, I want to talk about the war into my assignment, she gave me that permission. So I was
Mhm.
able to bring that part of how the war, Sri Lankan war affected especially women, how it, so that was a very helpful, I even did some art drawing and everything too. It was, for me, that course was like a trauma healing for myself. I did it for me to heal myself. And also the Funny Boy book review, because that was sexual health class, and it was all about the LGBTQ community. They wanted to
Mhm.
do the book review on it. But for me, that book talked to me about the Sri Lankan War, especially 1983 riots. So everything I have heard until that moment, I
Mhm.
never read anything of Sham Selvadure. I
Mhm.
heard, but I didn't have any, kind of a, but that in the course I was able to read that book. And when the assignment came, how this book, all this, actually they were expecting in the sexual way, because that class is all about sexual things.
Mhm.
But I wrote the answers about how that book helped me to
Yeah.
heal my war trauma. And she still
Mm-hmm.
gave me the whole full mark. She said, I have to accept it because for you, the book spoke to you in that way. And it was a surprise because for me, all the answers were, it was healing my war trauma through that book.
Mm-hmm.
So I was so surprised. Like even that book in that thing, it was
Mm-hmm.
a, healing for me.
Yeah.
So the whole course was about healing me.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, I have to say, you came into my life to heal
Mm-hmm.
me.
Oh.
Because when I first met you, I was
Mm-hmm.
afraid of you. Because until
Mm-hmm.
I met you, I had that freedom in my life because there were no Tamils, Sri Lankans, wherever
Mm.
I was.
That's right.
So even when
Mm-hmm.
I was in Montreal, I did French class. No
Mm-hmm.
Sri Lankan. So
Mm-hmm.
the whole freedom to be who I am. And I
Yeah.
knew how white people treated me, that
Mm-hmm.
respect, that honor. They
Mm-hmm.
accepted me who I am. So I was free to share all my story. But the
Mm-hmm.
day you walked in and sat in that table,
Yes.
I was scared. I felt like
Oh.
I'm going to lose my freedom
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
I was afraid how you will react. Because
Yes.
most of the time, the reaction from Sri Lankans, right? It's like, why are you telling these things? It's
Mm-hmm.
past. You should
Mm-hmm.
move on,
Right.
right? Why are you? So that is one reaction I get. And
Mm-hmm.
then the problem I had was I was living in a shelter. So
Mm-hmm.
most of the Tamil people felt very guilty whenever
Yeah.
I said, it's a shame, right? It's a
Mm-hmm.
community shame. So it's like,
Yeah.
why are you staying there? And it's like it makes them to shrink and,
Mm-hmm.
like untouchable kind of
Comfortable.
feeling. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that identity was threatening me by, you being coming into my, space.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because I came back to Toronto, but still I was so afraid of my ex-husband because of the
Mm-hmm.
death threats and
Yeah.
everything. So I was like, oh
Right.
my God, if she knows him, if he,
Right.
then what's going to happen to me? I will
Mm-hmm.
be in trouble. So
Mm-hmm.
that was other thing about having a Tamil person close to me. It was more
Yeah.
scary for me because I might be in danger anytime. Like I can't
Yeah.
trust,
Yeah.
this person because, she might do anything harm to me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
the divorce itself, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
because I'm telling all the other girls, like I'm
Yeah.
divorced and I'm bringing out that identity alive.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
when you turn up, it's like, oh my God, that judgment, right? It's like,
Absolutely.
she's going to look at me like so small, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's, so that scary part was honestly, it was scary. So luckily
Yeah.
on the first semester, first semester, you were in a different group. So
I
you
was.
only
Yeah.
came for the lunch.
Yes.
So
Lunchtime.
only during the lunch time, I didn't talk much, but still
Oh.
you were present. But
Yeah.
you were not in the class. So in the class, I was myself because
Free.
I was safe.
Yeah.
But then second semester,
Mm-hmm.
you came into a group. So we were
Yes.
together in the group.
That's right.
And honestly, I think the first semester I have started to share
Mm-hmm.
everything. So
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay, I'm going to continue. No matter who she is, what she's going to
Doesn't
do, I
matter.
will continue.
Yeah.
So and then the biggest thing happened
Mm-hmm.
that is 2019, February 14th.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me the black rose.
Oh,
It's still there.
yes. You still have
Actually,
it.
I keep it in the altar because
Right.
it's so sacred. So
Yeah.
the when you gave this black rose, I started
Mm-hmm.
to cry. And that
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this magic about this black
Yeah.
rose, but and I was crying in the corridor, and so many girls came and put their,
Came.
like, I was covered with the group of who we don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Like they just walked
They
in,
just
and
came.
everybody was holding, and I was
Yeah.
screaming and crying. and
Yeah.
everything came out. And
Yeah.
that is where I started my journey. And that is where
Oh.
I'm so grateful to you,
Mm-hmm.
because that thing, because you are not even a good friend of mine at that
At that
moment.
time, no, no.
For you to come with the rose, because
Mm-hmm.
we didn't even go out together. We
No, it
didn't
was just
have a
school.
chat together,
Yeah,
it's just the classroom. So there was
that's
no
it.
any special reason to give
Mm-hmm.
me the, rose, because there was no connection at all. It's all
Yeah,
through other people we got
right.
connected. There was
Yeah.
not personally any connection between us, but
No.
then the rose changed me to trust you. So the
Yeah.
rose is the reason for me, because like
Wow.
bringing that pain, that burden, that
Yes.
heaviness
Yes.
out,
Right.
and I didn't know that I had that much of like scream
Inside.
to cry.
Yeah. Totally.
And you said like
Let it
let
out.
it all come to an end. Because
Mm-hmm.
black rose, right? Who gives a
Yes.
black rose in this world? Because
Yeah.
I heard about red rose in my life. So
Mm-hmm.
this black rose,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, it was like a healing part of my journey.
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
I think so.
I appreciate that, Bo. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that because you're right, we didn't know each other very well at that time, but like through other connections is how we were connecting. And I think I was like observing you in class and during lunchtime and just like how bravely you were talking about your journey. And for me as well, I was like, I haven't seen anyone Tamil, Sri Lankan, like and from our background to be so vocal, right? So for me, it was like it's such a big inspiration to take that spotlight, to take up space, right? That was the big journey that you taught me. And for me, I was like, I just felt like I don't know. I'd never seen a black rosy. That was my first time seeing it in the store, and I was like, this is for Maureen. I don't know why. This is for Mo. I'm gonna get it.
Wow.
So then I did, and I was like, and I remember giving it to you, and I was like, this is like a rose of transformation. Let it be something that transforms you. Let it be something that releases you, especially on February 14th, right? Like that just felt so important on that day to give that to you, and I think that really like solidified our friendship and trust. Absolutely,
True.
absolutely, yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it. Yeah, where did we go after that? After February 14th, where did that lead us?
So then the second meeting, you came with this rose. This is the multicolor rose.
Ah, yes. Yes.
So you came with that, and again, you are the one and only person who came to visit me in the shelter, and
Mhm.
especially during the COVID time.
During COVID,
So
yes.
that was something very important, because I remember one time, because there was a time I was ready, and I got the food from the shelter, and I was posting on the Facebook like, and somebody respond like, what a shame you are bringing to our community. So
Wow.
it was a shameful thing to be in a community, to
Yeah.
be in a shelter, and you visit me in the shelter. So that
Mm-hmm.
was like a kind of for me, a big transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody respect, because
Mm-hmm.
for me, why I see you very special, right? Like you are one and only Tamil person as a friend, because like you saw me in the brokenness, like when I was
Mm.
in the zero state, right?
Right.
And that was, I feel, very hard, because
Mm-hmm.
when I came to Toronto, I needed a place to stay. Luckily there was a Tamil girl who gave me a place. I'm
Right.
grateful to her.
Yeah.
And then somebody else, like I stayed with them one night, two night, like that. But
Mm-hmm.
permanently to find a place in
Yeah.
Toronto,
Right.
these people, what they said to me, there was an older like a people, right? And she
Mm-hmm.
said, because when they heard the word divorce, right, it's like,
Mm.
oh my god, like she's going to take the even all the people, like that man
Yeah.
might be father to me, but still they were scared I might take that husband away,
Right.
like she will run
Yeah.
away from the husband.
Right.
I
Right.
still remember when a lady told me, I would love to have you, but unfortunately, weekend my son comes home and I'm scared.
Mm.
So that was
That
the
says
fear
something.
people had.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in that situation, your
Mm.
friendship was something so special to me, because when people didn't,
Mm.
if I didn't mention about shelter, if
Mhm.
I didn't mention about divorce, yes, everybody wanted to be my friend.
Of course,
But
yeah.
when they know these things, it was
Mm.
really, really hard. So
Mm-hmm.
that was,
Mm-hmm.
again
Yeah.
a big, and I hope you remember this
I
blouse.
was looking
This
at
is
that.
what you
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
And the sari.
The
So
sari.
actually, the sari is, it was, you gave it to me with the rose and in the, so when I wore it, because those days I used to do this, all these videos, and these women in the shelter, they will take
Yeah.
for videos, right?
Yeah.
So when they were, so where did you get this beautiful sari? And I said, my friend gave me. And they were shocked, because
Mm.
like freely somebody, it might be so expensive, right?
Mm.
And freely somebody giving for them, it's
Yeah.
something like, a
Right.
very new thing. And also somebody in the shelter, because most of the people, they have family members in
Yeah.
Toronto and nobody visits them. They are
Right.
so abandoned. They don't get
Right.
any
Yeah.
birthday, nothing. So for me, when you came with this gift, right? For
Mhm.
them, it was a big thing. It was a
Mm.
big gift, right?
Wow.
Like
Okay.
somebody can still remember somebody in
Yeah.
the shelter and bring a gift to them. And,
Right.
so
Right.
that was something I really felt you have touched. This is a gift I don't see for me. For
Mm-hmm.
all the women in the shelter, they all
Shelter.
appreciated,
Oh.
enjoyed, celebrated it. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that
Oh, it's
I'm
beautiful.
so grateful to you.
Yeah.
And because you couldn't come inside because it was
Yeah.
COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So you just, and then
Exactly.
again, you came to pick me at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that one is another amazing moment for me,
Mm-hmm.
because COVID time.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, you are the first woman who took me to airport, because I
Oh,
had a
wow.
friend.
Yeah.
I have a friend in Montreal. She
Mhm.
takes me, but with her husband.
Oh,
So
okay.
always there was a man, and there are times my mom has done it
Mhm.
alone. But it was, who is younger to me, and, like that. And you drove and came, by yourself. It was
Mm.
something. I never thought,
Oh,
like, because I always wanted a man, right? Man's
right.
help. Man
Yeah.
needs to take me. Man needs to pick me. So
Mm.
you changed the whole identity of mine by you,
Oh,
and even you became my emergency contact. So that
yes.
was something that I was like,
Yes.
because you are the first emergency contact who is a woman. So here
Wow.
sometimes I use a lady as an emergency contact, and
Yeah.
she's happy to do that. So for
Yeah.
me also to ask a woman, it's very hard.
Mm.
It's easy for me to
Mm.
ask a man, because I feel very safe, right? A
Mm.
man is going to be an emergency contact, so he will
Mm-hmm.
provide all the need,
Thanks. Yeah.
but asking a woman, it's like, oh my God, if anything happens, what she's going to do
What you gonna
with,
do? Yeah.
that is still inside
Yeah.
me.
Right.
So that shift is something I will say
Mm.
a big shift for me, to
Mm.
trust a woman and to
Right.
say, be my emergency contact, and,
Yeah.
be. So that
Mm.
is a big change for me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Mm-hmm.
it's very, because at the beginning here also, my emergency contact, I made it as a man. But
Mm-hmm.
then I just like, no, I have to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so I have to change and shift
Yeah.
and all. But actually, it's a big change for me to say,
Mm.
it's a
Mm-hmm.
woman, woman's,
Yeah.
support I'm, being
Yeah.
right in this kind of thing.
Right.
So
Right.
it's a, yeah, you have brought that shift in my life too.
Mm.
Because I never ever thought even I will ever ask a woman to be, that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
support system for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's I think it's a divine,
Shift.
honestly, for
Right.
you to, and
Yeah.
like the help you did
Right.
is a help for me, not just an emergency contact, to
Right.
change my belief system, and to
Yes,
walk
Cardinal.
away and to say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I can have a woman as an emergency
Mm-hmm.
contact. I can,
Mm-hmm.
trust a woman. I can, So
Yeah.
that's a very, very, very big thing you have
Hmm.
provided for me.
Oh, thanks for saying that. Well, I was so honored when you asked me because for me, I think the level of trust that it took for you to be like, yes, let me ask her. And also like I could have said no, like that rejection piece too, right? Like you don't know what's gonna happen when you ask somebody, right? Especially like you were leaving the country, right? Like there's all that going on. So it's like, okay, what are we gonna do? So absolutely, Mo, right? And like you said, that shift is such a big part, right? This is like things that we're all kind of ingrained in, right? Like the patriarchal views, men can do anything, but like women are like less than, right? But like to really come out of, especially from AWCCA, to kind of have a different shift in thinking. Like I had a big shift in thinking with that too. But like we're talking about using the theory that we learned, but putting it into our friendship, right? That translation into relationships that we've really done. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Big moves. Yeah.
Oh, also, I like to share about your wedding. You
Oh,
sent
sure.
me the invitation,
Hmm.
and luckily I am in Sri Lanka, but still there was a part of me struggled. Like I
Yeah.
wanted to, go, kind of thing. But honestly, I will say since 2006, I have not attended to any weddings.
Wow,
Uh,
Mo. Okay. I didn't know
so
that.
it's 20 years. Okay. And the other thing is, when I was with my ex-husband, as a married couple, we attended to a entertainment ceremony, puberty ceremony.
Oh, okay.
So they allowed me to be in the front, do the RRT, and because
Oh,
I'm married, right? So they gave
right.
that full acceptance. It was one of the moment with my ex-husband I still celebrate it because that
Oh,
opportunity he has given me to
right,
be
right.
in the front and do what I never did in my life.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
then after the divorce, I have attended one white wedding and
mhm,
also white Sinhala wedding,
mhm.
but not a Tamil wedding since the 2006. And I went to a puberty ceremony after the divorce, 2017. So
Mhm.
the mother of that girl, right? She said, "Please don't go and bless her because I don't want her to lose,
Oh
get
my
divorced like this."
gosh.
So
Jeez.
it was it was a
Yeah.
scary moment. I was
Yeah.
shocked because
Yeah.
I go to their house almost every day. Even for
Oh,
that ceremony, I am the one who sponsored the morning breakfast, right?
oh
I
my
bought
gosh,
all
Mo.
everything. And then she says, don't,
Don't
I
bless
was
her.
like, so you are eating the divorced woman's food,
Food.
right?
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
doesn't make any, do you think eating that is going to cause all of you to become a divorced people because you are eating
Mm,
my. But
yeah.
then blessing you should not do because you don't, and my daughter might end up being like you because if you bless. So I think that hurt me a lot.
Did.
And
Yeah.
since that,
Yeah.
the Tamil,
Yeah.
anything, I was scared.
Yeah.
Then 2022, when my brother got married, he
Mhm.
didn't invite me for the church. He invited me for the reception and for because then that thali thing normally the husband's sister has to put, right?
Oh,
So again,
yes.
divorce, right? Because they don't do allow the divorced woman and also the woman who doesn't have child. These
Right.
two are it's like a bad kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
Because if you do that, then that will end up for them also kind of a
Yeah.
bill, their billing.
Mentality, belief.
So when
Yeah.
yeah, so when he didn't invite me for the church, then I didn't go for the reception because I
Yeah.
felt like, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
Because church is more important than the. So I didn't, so then I think 2023 you got married, right? Or 20, yeah.
2024. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 years later, after his
Mm-hmm.
wedding, and
Mm-hmm.
for me, that I was like, no way. Even I
Yeah.
don't know whether if you were in Toronto, I could have come or not because I know I don't have any problem with you,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know the extended family. I don't
Family.
know your,
Sure. Sure.
So you
Yeah.
will be sitting in the Manamara, but I don't know what I will go through with the people around.
Around.
Even if
Yeah.
whole yeah, and whole
Yeah.
family is very, like a progressive and they don't care. The
Yeah.
one who comes and sits, right, who is not connected with you at all, like a that person might be a somebody, right, who is
Of
not
course. Yeah.
related to at all, will say, no, no, she
Same.
should not be here, right? That
All
can
it takes is
happen
one
also,
person.
right?
Yeah, it
One
can. It
person,
can.
right? And then,
Yeah.
what you will do, right? How you
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely, Mom.
me, that was the, like a big, and
Yeah.
I'm really grateful that I didn't show up. And I don't
Yeah.
know, even when if I could have been in Toronto, I could have come or not. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
no excuse, right? Because I'm not there, right?
Not in
So
the
I didn't.
country. Yeah.
Well, nobody
Yeah.
can say, okay, why she didn't come. But if I could have been in Toronto, I don't know.
You don't
But
know. Yeah.
maybe because I know somebody invited me in Toronto for
Hmm.
When I was in Montreal actually.
Ah,
So
okay.
during for that time, I didn't go.
Mhm.
For me, it's like I don't want to
Yeah.
go and get into
No.
trouble, right? I want to have
No.
my peace. So
Yes.
the weddings are still, unless
Mm.
it's a very safe, kind of a. But Tamil, I don't know because it's Sinhala and foreign, foreigners,
Yeah, they
there's no
don't.
problem.
No problem.
Even if I just, anything and everything they say, they accept me.
That's
So
fine.
for
Yeah.
me, I'm perfectly fine with them. And
Yeah.
Sinhalese also, compared to Tamils, I will say they are more receptive. Like they are more
Mm.
open. But
Hmm.
we are so into a
Just so
box.
fixed. Yeah.
We just
Absolutely.
like it's all the beliefs from outside, right? It's not
Right.
our
Right.
own belief to
No.
say,
Yeah.
so that's a very big, big challenge, and
Hmm.
but for me, I will not push through it because it's
Yeah.
about all everything, right?
That's
So I
right.
will like I wear kungumam,
Hmm.
that red. So whenever I
Yes.
go to when I first time went to Kali temple, I really
Hmm.
felt the Kali was saying, you just put. So
It's
I
true.
always put, and then I will come home with this red, kind of thing, and
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
I say I am a divorced woman. But
Right.
then I have this red thing
Well,
on my forehead, right? So that makes, people uncomfortable. But whenever I go to the temple, I do that because I
good.
feel that's an
Yeah.
honor they have, Mother Kali has given to me. And
Yes.
2022, I attended a Durga Puja. It's with North
Hmm.
Indian. And
Hmm.
the whole kumkumam was put on me. And it
Yes.
was coming, from, and that time only
Beautiful.
I totally understood how the divine blesses me. And, I
Hmm.
don't need a man. Without
Right.
a man, I
Hmm.
can still be a beloved for him. I
Yeah.
still have the right to wear the kunguma. I don't
Hmm.
need, to hide
Permission.
myself,
No.
like so all these colorfulness. So I live like I think I live sometimes more than a married woman, like with all
Yeah.
these things. So I have that thing,
Yeah.
but still, uh, the space. If it is someone's space, then I will be
Mm.
careful because I don't want to
Mm.
be hurt. But if it
Sure.
is a temple or anything like a public space, then
Freedom.
I am more
Yeah.
free. It's
Yes.
I'm free to do whatever I want to do. But
Hmm.
when it comes to personal spaces, I prefer not to be hurt than go and get into trouble,
Yeah.
because why? That's the big thing about going and get into trouble, right? So
Yeah.
that is where I'm at, and I completely respect my choices and
Good. Yeah.
honor myself because what is
Absolutely.
best for me,
For
and
you.
it's
Yeah.
not right.
Yeah.
So I think that also I'm so grateful this friendship that we are
Mm.
not like, bound in that to say you have to
No.
do this, you have to do that, you have to come, you have to not, all these things. We have the freedom to choose. Still, I don't, even if I don't come to your wedding, still I can be your friend, right? So
Absolutely.
that is a beauty because
Yes.
in the Tamil culture,
Yeah.
either your friend, you show up,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
you don't
Don't.
show up and don't be a friend, right? There is
That's
no
right.
way to be, So that's the
No.
other thing I really enjoy with you, because that whole
Yeah.
freedom we have to
Yes.
choose our
Yes.
own life, and still we can be friends,
For
but we
sure.
have our own freedom to
And stuff.
do what
Yeah.
we want ourselves.
Absolutely, Maura. And I was so because I think you talked about this before too with me, where it was like friendships where they just didn't understand, boundaries or like setting times to come on a phone call. They'd be offended if you're like, come between this time to pick me up. Like, you know what I mean? It was like I didn't understand. I think growing up in Canada and in the GTA Toronto area, like it was such a different concept of friendships and relationships. But then understanding where you were coming from was such a big change, right? So even between us and
Mm,
how our friendship developed, it was very different, I think, right?
mm,
And I was so proud of you for not coming to my wedding. I know it's weird to say that, but it's like you were like, I have my own autonomy and I know like I would do the same thing too, right? It's like if I feel like I'm gonna
mm,
be disrespected or made to feel smaller somewhere, why would I go? Why would I go there? Because of
mm,
the expectations of our culture? No, no. We choose where we go. It's where we choose where our energy
mm,
goes, right? So for you to have enough confidence to be like, I don't know how Serena is going to feel
mm.
about this, but I'm going to do this. That was like you trusting our friendship too, right? And yourself
Absolutely.
more, right? Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
And the other thing is when I first asked for a phone call, right? You said,
Ah,
I'll click and, make that, that was the first, because for me, until that moment, I
yeah.
never had this appointment setting with a friend. You just call and you talk, right? So,
Yes.
and the other thing is actually you are 15 years younger to me. So you were born in 1995, where
Mhm.
the bombing happened in our village. So I
Mm,
supposed to be dead at that time. So
yeah.
when you met me, I was like, oh my God, the time I supposed to die, this girl has born. So it is kind of for me a new birth,
Wow.
and there is
Yeah.
so for me that journey, right? Your journey is
Interesting.
also kind of since that my journey. So
Hmm.
15, because in our culture, even 1 month older, we call them akka, right?
Yeah,
That respect. So
that's
here
right.
you come, 15 years younger to me and Maureen, right? And
Yes.
I did the same with the white people, like somebody who is almost like my
Hmm.
father's age, I call him by name.
Right.
So in Montreal, I have done that, but I
Yes.
have never done it for a Tamil person.
Right.
So,
Right.
because I don't
Hmm.
know how to call a Tamil person, I still remember you said Patma, right? And what? Call her Patma?
Yes.
I couldn't believe, right? And when I looked Patma, I was like, oh my God, how she had the courage to call Patma by name. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
offensive, right?
Oh, yes.
So, no, it was like
Yeah.
a change in life. So,
Hmm.
whatever I did in Montreal with the white friends, and
Hmm.
here you come and do the same thing. And I'm
Mm.
like, oh my
My
God, right?
God.
So, it was a completely right.
Yeah.
And then I have that choice, like,
Hmm.
I don't have to, like I can do that with others, right? Because
Yes.
15 years younger to me calls me Maureen. So I can
Yeah.
call somebody 15 years older than me the same thing, right?
Exactly.
So that the equality, and other thing is until I met you, it's again our culture, right? Like we
Hmm.
can boss the ones who are younger to us, right?
Mm.
So I
Hmm.
was scared, right? It was so easy for me. Hey, call me, right? I don't have to wait for you to make an appointment and tell that.
Yes.
But then when you said those things, I think it's a breaking point in me because I
Right.
got angry and
Yeah.
upset and frustrated
Yeah.
because, like, who is he to tell me what she thinks about me? Like, do I have to wait? Even when the appointment was like so many weeks, I have to wait. And I'm like, does she think he's a counselor or therapist or call me and give a point? Like, all these, like, because
Yeah.
I never
Feelings.
get,
Right.
you know. So, but I think it has helped me to
Hmm.
put the boundary because
Right.
recently I was somewhere and I saw somebody has called 2 times and I sent her a
Mm.
message, sorry, I can't talk to you today.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, what time should I be? So for Sri
Nice.
Lankan, we are not
Yeah.
used to it, right? So
No.
I asked, what time should I call you? Never got the answer. I never called her back. Then
Sweet.
one day I sent to a missed call and I said, "Can you send a voice message?" Nothing.
Nothing.
So I'm like,
That's
you
fine.
know,
Okay.
yes. So those boundaries actually came from you. And for
Right.
me now, it's so normal. For me, it doesn't make a problem.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, it's like, and it helped me. I think I'm very careful with younger generation. I
Mm,
respect them, value them. I don't go
mm.
after them showing, okay, because now for
Sure.
university students, they call me auntie or amma.
Right. Right.
Because
Right.
so for me, at the beginning, it was like, oh my God, when they call
Gosh.
auntie, I was like, no, I'm not. But then oh yeah, I'm 46. If they are like,
Yeah.
20, right? They have the
Yeah.
right to call me auntie, amma, all these things. Because I'm even said, actually, you're older than my mother.
Right. There you go. There you go.